Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Leanne McGork with Roots Learning Program here with a quick review of the EdNet Insight website. Now, on first glance, this website is very difficult to navigate, but as soon as you kind of familiarize yourself with the different tabs and amenities available within it, it's actually really accessible. Now, for parents who aren't familiar with EdTech websites, as a teacher, they're difficult for me to navigate most of the time, so hopefully I can kind of be your guide and help ease your way into understanding what types of education technology are available within your child's classroom today. Okay, so let's okay. So this is the EdNet website. Now, at first glance, as you can see, it's pretty simple. It's just like every other website out there. It's actually really quite organized. First part that I wanted to highlight here was actually this section called the changing role of today's teacher. So this section is obviously mostly directed towards teachers, but it's a really good resource for parents to understand what is being expected of teachers within the classroom. So this is where the EdNet website provides research and documentation on different trends in technology and education, and gives that information to teachers so that they can then transfer it into the classroom with their students. Second bit is from the editor. Most people wouldn't read a letter from the editor. I actually found this really helpful because she explains things within her website and what's happening within the culture of education technology in very simple terms, but also very detailed terms. Okay, so the next bit, as we scroll down the page, is looking at market insights. Now, for most parents, you won't really have to go into this section, but if you're interested in delving a little bit deeper into education technology and what's happening in the classroom, it talks about the different platforms and products that are available for teachers to use within their classroom. So this might be online classroom platforms, it might be accommodating ed platforms for students with learning disabilities or psychiatric disabilities in the classroom. A little bit of research behind all the different tech, as well as the educational policies that are in place to help protect students in the process of using these technologies. This part here, she snoops, she scoops. I wasn't really sure what to make of it at first. It seemed very dry, this section, but if you look into it, this is where you find out the credibility of this website. So if you go into this particular section of the website, there's something called the Consortium for School Networking. So this is the basis on which this entire website is based. Now, all of the members who support this website or contribute to this website, this is where you'll find out what their qualifications are, as well as their areas of expertise. And I personally love these kinds of sections on educational websites. They're the most beneficial. Now, this website is an American website, but what's happening is, as Canadians, we love to follow American trends, especially anything to do with technology, and especially anything coming out of Silicon Valley. So when you go into this featured news section, it breaks down a lot of the trends that are happening in America in terms of the technology sector, but also how that applies to education as well. Okay, on to the next bit. Please excuse me, I'm still learning how to use this formatting myself. Okay. When you go back up to the top, there's so many sections here. How do you know which ones to use? These were some of my favorites. So if you click on the voices from the field, you actually go into a section of the site where you're hearing direct from people in the field. You're hearing from teachers, you're hearing from educational specialists, you're hearing from social workers, you're hearing from child and youth workers, as well as special education teachers. So it's a significant resource for teachers, but likewise, it's a very significant resource for parents as well. So again, the focus that I like here is it talks about trends. So is talking about how personalized education is really going to be the wave of the future in terms of education. If you look at the research, if you look at the marketing of education technology, what's going to be happening is over the next few years with this influx of online and blended learning. So blended learning is where you still have the classroom learning going on, but students are doing quite a significant portion of work online as well. You see this primarily in high schools as well as post-secondary. But this honestly is the way things are moving into the future. Most post-secondary institutions now offer entire degrees almost solely online. So students can go on, use online platforms, and complete their several important courses, if not their entire degrees online. If we go back, connected to those voices from the field is the technology section. So if you recall, I was saying the industry insights, knowing what's up and coming, what's coming from America with the trends in technology, what's coming from Silicon Valley in terms of new resources available. But this one in particular is of key interest to me was Schoology's increased Google Drive integration. So as most of you know, I'm a Toronto-based educator. I work at Toronto schools and universities. There are two primary platforms that are being used. TDSB's initiative is solely Google Classrooms. So right now there are a bunch of inquiries, school-based inquiries going on to find out the benefits to student learning of using online platforms such as Google Classroom. So what will happen is the teacher will teach like they normally do, hey, what's up guys, XYZ, and teach their materials to the class. But then supplementary to that, there will be an entire classroom of materials online through Google Docs and Google Classroom. This, again, as I was saying, is a board-wide initiative for the Toronto District School Board as well as Toronto Catholic District School Board. If you look a little bit deeper into the materials in the technology headlines, it's going into coding, it's going into other websites that are available. When you go into the higher ed market, is obviously our post-secondary section. It's highlighting Blackboard. So when our students move on from our Toronto District School Boards, from Toronto Catholic or any of the boards kind of in our family of schools or in our neighborhood, they will move on to post-secondary and use one of two platforms. The first one is D2L, Desire to Learn. Is currently the Ontario Ministry of Education's initiative for online platforms. The second one that the students will likely see is Blackboard. So from my experience working with Ryerson is using D2L. If your teacher in high school is using Desire to Learn, you could not be better prepared because when you're going to a school like Ryerson or York University, or George Brown, Seneca College, you'll be using same platform in your education as well. If you're interested in going to schools like Queen's, U of T, always a U of T if you want to become a teacher, Durham College, Centennial College, you'll be using a platform called Blackboard. So Google Classroom, Desire to Learn, Blackboard, they're all very similar in terms of what they do for the student and how it offers opportunities for learning online. But it's just a little bit of a different name, a little bit of a different method of instruction. The next section I want to get to on here that I really kind of helped me out is, and it's one of my favorite sections, is the pre-12 market. Sorry, please excuse me, my nose is itchy. So the next section I really want to highlight on here is the pre-K-12 market. What this does is it shows you all of the different stepping stones, all of the different current models of technology. The next section I want to show you is the K-12 market. So this goes into the trends that are currently popular for kindergarten up to grade 12 in schools, and it also gives you a little bit of an introduction into different programs. So Ranger Rick, reading in the classroom. It goes into Edmodo, it goes into all of these things that are being utilized in a lot of pre-K to grade 12 classrooms at the moment, but most parents unfortunately are very unaware of. So that's really all I'm going to cover today for the Ed Insight website. It was a very quick overview. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me at rootslearningprogram@gmail.com or visit our website, rootslearningprogram.com, for more information. Thank you for listening and have a